We start with a short thought on the parsha, but we're coming off the heels of Rosh Hashanah. We're going into Shabbos Shuvah. Yom Kippur's on the horizon, and we're learning Hilchos Brachos, and it all converges so beautifully in a medrash. And the medrash is quite a enlightening medrash. The medrash teaches us as follows: what is a Rasha and what is a Tzadik? So I think if I were to take a poll, define me a Rasha, we'd have some choice words. We'd have some flowery explanations. If I were to then ask, okay, and who's a tzaddik? Again, we'd have long beards, pious individuals. But the Medrash, says as follows: Rasha b'chayav chashav kimes. A Rasha, when he's alive, is considered dead. Okay, that makes sense. Why is he considered dead? Says the Medrash. Because a Rasha, roya chama zeirachas, he sees the sun rising, but einay mivarech yitzar, he doesn't make the brachas in the morning. Shaikas, he sees the sun setting. Veina mivarech ma'ariv aravim. Oichel v'shaisa, he eats and he drinks. Ve'einay mivarech aleha. What's a Rasha? Someone who doesn't make brachas. The Medrash continues, Avalat Tzadikim. But what's a tzaddik? Mevarchin al kol davar v'davar sha'oichlin v'shaisin. They make a bracha on everything they eat and drink, v'she'royin, and that they see, v'she'shaimim, and that they hear. The Medrash tells us, what's a tzaddik? We all want to be tzaddikim. We want to be inscribed in the book of life. Says the Medrash, the difference between a tzaddik and a rasha is the difference between one who makes brachas and not. But if you look carefully, it says something a little bit more. And that doesn't just mean you make the brachas. Why was that person defined as a rasha? In the words of the Medrash, is because he's completely oblivious to what's going on around him. The sun's rising, the sun's setting, he's eating, he's drinking, he's just going through his day. What's the tzaddik doing? He's cognizant, I'm about to take a drink. He realizes the sun rose. He understands someone else just made a bracha. I need to say amen. The difference between the tzaddik and the rasha is one who is aware that he's living with Hashem. He's aware that life just doesn't go, but rather we have to stop. We have to ask permission for the food we're drinking. We have to praise Hashem for the things that we see. And the words of the famed Mir Mashgiach of Yerucham Levavitz, he says that this can really be explained by the Navi Yirmiyah when it discusses Ephraim doing tshuva. The pasuk says, you know what Ephraim is? He's misnoided. He's moving. He's moving, so he's doing tshuva. So Yerucham explains that what tshuva is, when you move a little bit, you take that step in the right direction. And that's really what we're seeing in this medrash, that the difference between the tzaddik and this rasha is the difference between a person who's cognizant that life has a meaning. He's aware that there's something called brachos. He might make a mistake, that's true, but he's continuously looking for the next opportunity to bring Hashem into his life. And this was written, quite many years ago. We fast forward to our fast-paced lives. We fast forward to our lives of snacking and eating. We realize that with everything going on, do we even know what's going on? So in the world of tshuva, at a perfect time of year, so incredible to focus on brachos, because what brachos do when we realize them is it brings Hashem into our life. It's a lot more than just the bracha, which that itself is something incredible. But it's a lot more than just the bracha on the food we eat, just the bracha and davening. By making the bracha, it's the awareness that we're living life with Hashem. And that, of course, is really what it's all about. So hopefully, the siyata d'shmaya, the more that we learn about brachas, the more we'll be able to bring the brachas in our life. And in reality, and we'll end with, we know there's a concept of mea brachas every day. So say 100 brachas a day. Where was that enacted? It was enacted, there was a terrible magifa, a terrible plague. And saying the 100 brachas prevented the plague. One shot is, we could talk about each of these details at length. We're just trying to throw little tidbits in. One explanation is because when you make 100 brachas throughout your day, what does that mean? What was that day? That was 100 times you remembered Hashem throughout your day. So hopefully, I'm sure many have been realizing the more that we learn about the halachas of brachas, the more that without even thinking about it, it like comes to mind. Wait, should I have made a bracha? Did I make a bracha? Did I move locations? Did I not move locations? Do I have to make another bracha? Wait, which item goes first? Did I make the shechianu? Do I eat the pomegranate first? Each of these things, what they're really doing on a deep way, they're allowing us to be misnoided. They're allowing us to move in the direction of tshuva. They're allowing us to live life with a higher calling. And hopefully, b'siyata d'shemaya, that's ultimately what it's all about, which will allow us to do the appropriate tshuva as we're on our path towards the ultimate tahara, the ultimate purity of Yom Kippur in a week's time.